Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Robbie and Noah podcast. Here we'll be talking about hockey, letters from Greg Ross, Dono, and conversating about how they can apply to our future.
So our first coach is Greg Ross, and he works for Poco Minor Hockey, and it's an association that is for minor kids and allows them to play hockey at a competitive level in their own city. So he head coaches the U15 A1 team in Poco, and he also is an assistant coach for the U18 A1 Poco Minor Hockey team.
Yeah.
Donald Menard is our other contact, and he also coaches at the Poco Minor Hockey Association, but he is also a coach at the U15 Yale Hockey Academy.
So, we're talking about Greg Ross here. We asked him a couple questions. The first question that we asked him is, what is the average cost of your program? The average cost, Greg said, was about $30,000 per rep team, $15,000 per recreation team, which could be a house team or just a fun team. And the cost of the running program is about $600,000. That's to build the team. For a player, registration is between $700 and $950 plus the team fees and costs for a player. Or family is about $2,500 at the rep level and $1,500 at the recreation level. Now, I agree that rec teams should be more than recreation teams because as a rep team, you usually try to go on about 4 tournaments, 3 away tournaments where you're getting a hotel, getting food. You got to think of all that stuff, and you're more likely to get more track gear and just extra stuff on top to really prove your commitment to the team as well.
Next is Dono, and he states about his Yale Academy that it is about $15,000 per year for each player. This might seem like quite an excessive amount, but when you think about it, an academy includes going to school there and having practices multiple times a day, and there being lots of ice time that may be extra or more than you would get at a Poco Minor Hockey Association. So in total, it is much more expensive and probably a much greater commitment, but if you are willing to pay that money, I think it can be to your benefit.
Yeah, I agree. If you have $15,000 to spend, I would definitely go to like a Yale Academy and just it weighs out its benefits. The next question we asked, how do you feel sports benefit your players? Greg Ross said, the benefit for players are quite simple to me. He said it helps with your physical activity, you learn life skills, learn how to follow directions, and it teaches you some accountability like being prepared and showing up on time and not forgetting your gear. It teaches you how to handle your emotions, whether you win or lose a game. It also helps you with your future by creating goals and learning to deal with succeeding and trying to improve and, not fix those goals, but what's the word I'm looking for here? Like,
Really just helping you prepare yourself for life in a sense that will benefit you in your future.
yeah, that's really what he said.
So the same question goes out to Dono, the coach of the Yale Hockey Academy, and he says that it really combines academics and hockey, so it can benefit his players on an academic level as well as a athletic level. And he also states that it's a great way for the players to bond together because you go to school in a class together and then you get to be on the ice together, so you can make on and off ice connections extremely well and develop deep bonds between teammates.
Just to really emphasize that point, all of our hockey guys on our team, like every time we see each other in the hallway or if we get a class together or even at lunchtime, we all mostly hang out together and it's a great bond. You'll never get the same friendship on a hockey team or sports team.
And also, it's a really good way to improve your commitment and have an understanding of what it means to be extremely committed to a program and to this sport of hockey in this case. And the player's development also increases greatly throughout a year just due to the sheer amount of ice time, coaching, and resources that you have going here.
Yeah, no, for sure. Like with the amount of resources you get, you are spending a lot of money to play at that Yale Academy, so I agree that you get a lot of resources, but making friends and lifelong friends is also a very good benefit to that. Our next question is, what does your program offer for future opportunities or advancements of its athletes? And Greg Ross said it pretty well, and he really cleared the point up. He said, he provides the ability for players to compete and train at the next level of their sport. So he knows that this is not the league or team that they'll be playing on for their entire life, but he's trying to expand and further their development in the sport. He also says that it's great for volunteer programs and provided the players the ability to gain experience volunteering as coaches or on ice volunteers at a young age.
It's a great way to get future connections where you can advance yourself in the sporting world and in the academic world and just in your future life in total, because you can get volunteering as well as coaching experience and just any more knowledge that could be beneficial to your life in the future.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I've met many people through hockey and soccer and other sports, and the sports world is all kind of connected. Everyone kind of knows everyone at this level, so it's a great way to learn.
And going to the same question with Donald Menard from the Hockey Academy, he says that it can give them great opportunities to advance in the hockey world because the academy has great connections to higher level leagues and future leagues such as maybe the WHL or more professional leagues. And these will also provide great opportunities at these academies because they have these contacts to coaches that are from very successful and very high level teams. So playing at this academy provides great opportunity to be seen and be recognized by other coaches that could help them excel in their sport.
It's kind of like the same concept of going to Harvard versus going to UBC. Although Harvard probably does offer more, just like the Yale Academy, you're really going there to network with all the other people because no normal, I guess you could say, people are going to Harvard. They're usually people from rich parents and you can network and help out. Same concept with the Yale Academy. It's usually rich parents or people that are really good at further developing their sport.
It's all about making networks with as many people as possible, and it gives them a great opportunity to be seen out in the sporting world.
Our next question we asked to teach the
Coaches is,
what makes your program stand out from others in the same sport? Greg said, a lot of the minor hockey programs are very similar at the association level, but he really dived into the aspect that he brings to the team and why POCO is such a good association. He said he really cares about the players, teaching and coaching players to be good people, good students, good players, and most of all, winning. Many teams run their programs, and teams like Robots, we take a proactive approach to have players learn to be great people first, then follow up with the athlete. It's about teaching life goals is what he's really trying to say.
and I think these aspects he brings up are really important, and it really helps them stand out from other associations. And I think if teams and coaching and programs can take these sort of goals and important aspects into their team and into their coaching, it will really help them stand out from other programs. And moving on to Dono's response, he likes to state that his program has one of the best reputations in the country, which means that there are many good programs out there as well, but he says that it is different than anyone else and that it is not for profit. All the school academy programs are privately owned, which means they are not part of a normal school district. And it is also the least expensive because it is not part of that. So it really gives players an opportunity to go out on the ice and develop their training while paying an expensive amount of money, but in a reasonable amount of money for the resources and skills and development that you will earn out of these practices and communities.
Also, speaking on that topic of opportunities and everything, it also offers good accommodations for, as what Noah said, a good price, because that's really what it is. Although it's not the highest paid, that doesn't mean they're not top athletes and top performers. Our next question we asked the coaches were, what makes your program successful? Now, before I even start with this question, this is a tough one to answer, because both of them said an easy one to say is winning and accomplishing goals. But he says he thinks our program is successful because of our care for the players and respect that is not given but is earned. And coaches together, even though the players may not respect the coaches right off the bat, it's earned, which is normal and should be a good follow-up rule for every coach. A great example Greg gave was, my wife and I just had a baby in October. There was countless phone calls, texts, and emails from our players expressing their congratulations to see how we were all doing. Regardless of what happens on the ice, my time coaching these players in this city has been a success. These players are 15 to 18 years old with all the things going on in their lives, school, hockey, and family. To be able to spare a minute, a moment, just to show how much they care outside of the hockey and my personal life is a great example of how my coaching and these players are great people.
I think that's a great point too, that a mutual respect between the players and coaches really gives a great chance for success with the team, because you could have the greatest players in the world, but if they can't cooperate, it's just going to be a bunch of solo people trying to play a team sport, which will never work. So I think this aspect of respect is really important and a great way that the Poco Minor Hockey Association is a successful organization.
Also, adding on to that mutual respect, it also helps players become more accountable for their actions. Instead of the coaches bearing down and saying, be here at this time, do this, which they do, it's still your responsibility, and it's you giving them that respect, even though you don't need an hour to get ready or an hour and a half to get ready. It's just, he wants me there at that time. For his respect and his time, I will be there at that time.
As Dono states in the Hockey Academy, he first starts off by saying his coaching staff is excellent, which I would hope it is, paying $15,000 for these coaches. He says they work together in developing players, and most of them remain in the program until they are ready to graduate at grade 12. As players go on together and they are playing together, it makes them extremely successful because they can bond and understand how each other's minds work and how they play together. And also there's an off-ice training facility at the Yale Academy, which allows for strength conditioning and just working out. And there's also trainers there, specifically there to help these players perform and improve their strength in a well-structured program. And the structure of their training is appropriate to their age and their body type and their weight. So it's really personalized and gives them a great opportunity to improve themselves in a physical aspect, and also provides many opportunities for like certain diets and ways to eat properly to be healthy and be at their best possible performance level.
I agree. And at that academy level, it's also about, and even at the association level, it's also about teaching life goals. Diet, training, it's building a lifestyle and a strong structure personalized to your well-being.
And along with that, it's about creating good habits, which is extremely important. And I think what it comes down to is what level you are at and what you were willing to pay. Because you may want to pay maybe $3,000 a year to play at a minor hockey association, which may be in your area. It may be more convenient to you. And you may just not have as much time to make a complete commitment to this. Or if you feel that an academy will benefit you the most and you have $15,000, you can go here and you will get great benefits out of these programs, and you will reap the rewards of these resources.
And although the Yale Academy's really main focus is building your lifestyle and really trying to elevate your hockey career, the association level is the same thing, but their main focus is trying to make you a better person in itself. Like, they probably know you're not going to go to the NHL or the Dub because you're still playing an association. But saying that, it's also their main focus to create you as a better person in your life and your future. And when you have kids, like Greg was just talking about, giving that example of reaching out to people. And that moment that he taught us to do that, and it showed that he really cared just hearing that.
In all, I think it's really just about becoming a better person and preparing yourself for life. And there will be some kids that will move on and really excel in their hockey career. And then if you're not one of those kids, it's a great way to be prepared for life and be able to excel in your own personal life. And that's all for this podcast. We will see you in the next one.
Bam, bam,
Noah
bam, bam,
and
bam,
Robbie
bam, bam.
podcast.
Chipa chipa boski, chipa boski, chipa chipa boski.